So Persona 5 is coming out in a few days, and I'm sure the fanbase is dying with anticipation for the first mainline game since Persona 4 in 2008. And I bet that there's a fair amount of you outside the fanbase who may be interested in this game because of how it's being received, and are curious to find out why the series has such a cult following. And some individuals even think that the discovery of this game could lead people down a path of new genres that they never knew they would have liked, that it might introduce people to a whole new niche of gaming. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's all bullshit, and anyone who would even suggest something like that is full of garbage. Because the truth is, Persona 5 is gonna be horrible, horrible if you're French, and hopefully through means of extensive analysis, I can save you from wasting your hard-earned cash on this trash. I've condensed this all into 4 rock-solid categories, starting with 1, the graphics. Just look at this game. Look at these flat textures, these mediocre lighting effects. The NPCs don't even have faces. How lazy can a studio be? And just look at this guy's coat. The coat looks like garbage. Look at this guy's coat. You can see the high resolution textures, the light bouncing off of his chiseled back. Now back to this guy's coat. You can't even see the stitches, fam. If you can't even see the stitching, then what's the point of a coat? And Poppin'? What are we, cavemen? This is 2017. This is absolutely unacceptable. Art direction? Color theory? That shit means nothing. It's about textures and draw distance. And Persona 5 is sitting at the back of the pack. You might be like, oh, Poppin' isn't that big of a deal. Well, let me ask you this. Does Knack have Pop-In? Does Knack have Pop-In? I rest my case. Now I'm sure most logical people have already lost all interest in this game by now, but just in case there's some stragglers, I'm gonna keep going in the name of professionalism. 2. Anime? More like Batame. Got him! As if this game didn't look bad already. They had to go and make it anime. Yeah, maybe back when I was 7, I enjoy waking up early and seeing some Saturday morning cartoons for my little brain to digest. But now I'm an adult. I play games for adults. Nobody has time for this baby stuff. See, this is exactly why I stay away from these Japanese cartoon games. Instead of taking the time to actually make a serious game for serious gamers, they're over there pandering to little kids. Yeah, maybe one day the Persona fanbase will wake up and realize that this entire subcategory of an art form is just for little kids and has nothing to do with the preconceived notions based upon cultural variance. Some people can buy this for their 6-year-old nieces, but anyone looking for a game for grown-ups aren't gonna find it here. Which brings me to 3. Where's the game? No, really, where is the game? 90% of these trailers are just cutscenes or talking. And from what I've read, the main draw of Persona is the social links, which are basically just glorified cutscenes. I don't buy games to watch stuff. I buy games to play them. If I'm not in control of the camera and or character for 99% of the time, then it's not a video game. Here, let me give you an example of what you can expect.
What a troublesome kid I've taken in. I was asked to do it, and I just...
Boring. They expect us to do this for most of the game? Yeah, right, I can't even spend a few seconds watching this crap. And as most of us logical people know, if it doesn't look fun, it isn't fun. Fact. Oh, but man, it's just a different kind of game that focuses on different aspects. Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Can I climb this building? Can I climb this building? That's what I thought. Bad game. And finally, the 4th reason why this game is gonna be rubbish. It's turn-based. Turn-based. Persona 5? More like Persona 1995. What are we, cavemen? This is 2017. There's zero excuse for such dated gameplay mechanics. But of course, if you talk to a Persona fan, you'll hear all the excuses juices in the book. Oh, it's a different kind of game. It's more about strategy and directed set pieces. Oh, maybe the reason why turn-based is considered to be a dated mechanic has nothing to do with the genre being dated. It has to do with its lack of representation over the past several years. Maybe it's because, unlike real-time mechanics that have had years and years to develop themselves into what they are today, turn-based mechanics haven't been given the same amount of priority in the industry, thus leaving us with a genre that really hasn't made any serious progress since the PlayStation 2. Maybe the last turn-based game to have a real AAA budget was Final Fantasy X, and even though they more than had the resources to make a real-time battle system, they didn't, because they understood that turn-based has a whole plethora of different strengths and weaknesses that separates itself from other genres, thus giving them the opportunity to focus more on a directorial experience. Maybe the reason why there isn't such a huge market for turn-based games is because there's barely any turn-based games with any real money or talent put behind them. And the few that do have talent put behind them do extremely well regardless of their budget limitations. Yeah, well guess what? That's all bullshit. Because thanks for watching my video on why Persona 5 will be a horrible game. Hopefully all of you can finally see that this game is atrocious. If so, make sure to subscribe so that you can catch my next video that explains why Zelda Breath of the Wild is objectively a bad game because of frame rate issues. And after that, I take the time to explain why Bloodborne is awful because I died in it. Stay tuned.